Hello Jen, I basically done up a summary for you based on what we have covered during the Zoom and also our meetup at this Hill Haven. Yeah, so I just did a deck for you so that you can remember everything that we have covered so far. So yeah, I think important thing that we need to ask ourselves is what is our plan for the next 3 years, whether what is more suitable for us, what kind of platform for investment is more suitable for us. So I think today right we probably will do, this is what I plan for you, what you actually plan to achieve in the next 3 years. So this is usually what I do. I like to break down the payment of 1.6 million into the down payment, which is about 30% over here, because this is what we have and we are using this right to actually grow our asset. Yeah, so I shared with you before, if you do a new launches, if you look at places like Meadwood, if you look at places like Dairy Farm, the growth is about 6%. Okay, so if I were to probably put my capital into Hill Haven, 1.6 million, right? Based on 3 years projection, I will probably grow my capital gain will be about 288. So what I'm actually trying to do here is that I'm trying to use 480,000 to grow another 288. So which means that in 3 years from now, right? 3 years from now, right? Your capital will probably grow until 768,000. And in this case, right, you are probably in the position to buy a bigger unit, 2.2 million, and likely your next flip will be a 3-bedder or maybe a 2-bedder somewhere nearer to the city area. Okay, so I think I've already summarized all the notes for you already. So you, if time, you just try to read. Okay, so 1.6, your down payment is 480. So with this 480, right, with this 480,000, I want you to help you grow your capital by 288,000. So which means that right in future in 3 years, you will grow by your capital becomes 768,000. This is what I want to establish for you today. Okay, so of course, right, resale versus new launch, which one will actually bring us closer to our objective, which is to grow our asset, which is to elevate our capital. Okay, so I showed you before, if you base on the past 10 years, right, okay, resale also grow lah, but probably in the last 10 years, right, it grew by about 26%. For new launches, right, it's about 6 to 7%. So you can see the kind of growth, right, that for both, yeah. Okay, so new 7.3, resale is about 2.8. So if I were to show you some resale probably people buy more for stay. Yeah, and you need to also understand, I did highlight to you before during our Zoom appointment, right, that if you either enter in the resale, right, you will probably be entering at the highest point, right, highest stay, right, in the whole of the development. And you must also come to think of it. Today, if you enter here, right, if you were to factor in your personal cost, like your renovation, maybe a bit lah, not so much. Maybe I just put about 60,000. If you add in your interest, which is probably another 90 over 1,000. Okay, so the question is, right, how much are you going to sell? Likely, right, with all the costs that you bear, right, you probably have to sell much higher than what the first owner had to sell lah. Yeah, over here. And I think not only just that, because if you were to likely buy, right, after the so-called the TOP is here. Okay, I should say that the prices is very much, right, affected by the market. Okay, so when the market is good, it will go up. Alright, sometimes when the market is not so good, when your neighbor sell lower, it will go down. So in the case when you buy after resale, right, I should say that, right, the prices will be a bit roller coaster. Your heartbeat also will be roller coaster lah. So you go up and down because you are quite uncertain. Yeah, and I think because of this, right, if of course there's a temporarily upward trend. Okay, I think this is because of COVID, which actually delayed everything. That's why there's a bit of temporary spike out there. Yeah, but even if you were to look at the whole resale market, right, today, right, if you look at the whole resale market, right, your growth is only about 2% per year. And this may not be enough, right, to cover your interest, because if you look at the market today, interest is already about 3%. Your inflation is maybe about 2%. So if your property doesn't really grow by 5%, right, there is a potential hazard over there lah. Yeah. Okay, so I already showed you also. So if you look at today, there are two groups of people who bought 3 houses. The one that bought on the early, that means during the launch, right, they actually did very well. Important thing is that you need to ask yourself, is this a safe buy or not? Okay, I mean, property is not just about making money or not. It's about, is it a safe buy or not? The most important thing is that we don't want to lose money in our property purchase. This is the thing that we want to cover. Okay, so the first owner actually did the rest. And today, if your entry is a bit later, right, you can see these people actually enter much later after the TOP. You see lah, this is what is going to happen. So we must engineer our purchase in a way that is risk adverse. It's not subject to any risk. We want to make sure that today when you buy a property, right, you're actually entering at the lowest in the whole development. Yeah, okay, you got what I'm saying? Yeah, so okay. So today if you look at Meadwood, okay, even though you can see Meadwood entry price, right, compared to Tree House, right, it's higher. But the thing is that everybody entered at the same price during the launch. And when they exit, right, I show you, they enter at 1,006, right? They entry, everybody enter at the same price, they exit at the same price. So in a way, right, this is, I should say that this is a little bit more safer, because if you enter at 1,005, you won't want to sell at 1,003, 1,004, ma. Yeah, you probably everybody. So in this case, right, there is something like a price support over there for you. Yeah. So if you realize one thing, right, those people that actually bought tree house, they probably would have bought something like yeah. Okay. So let me just show. Okay. So you can see that for me wood, right. You see, everybody make money. Okay. So I think to me, how do I benchmark? Okay. How Hugh Hewitt is going to perform? Very simple. The reason why there's 100% is because there's a resale demand in that area. People are willing to pay for a good price in that area. Yeah. And okay, so Midwood, you can see that the growth is very healthy, 5 to 6%. Okay. And I think I already done up this chart for you. I have gone through you before. So today, if you were to look at 1.6 million property, right, either you can go for a resale or you can go for a new launch. But the thing is that for resale, right, the interest is already about 3,000. Every month you are paying 5,000, right? But actually 3,000 actually go into your interest. So if you were to base on 3 years, right, projection, right, it already set you apart. It's already higher than resale than the new launch by almost 3 times already. Which means that your risk is also 3 times higher. Yeah, that's for resale. Yeah. Okay, and then if you were to look at how I did my comparison for you, okay, I did a comparison, right, based on buying a resale, already resale with rental of 3,500 versus a brand new launch, okay, with a growth of 6%. In this case, if you buy a new launch, likely you won't be able to get any rental. Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah, but I did a 3 years comparison for you. So let's look at this chart over here. Okay, so if you buy a resale, right, of course there's still capital appreciation, 2.6%. So I just put a plus here. But the interest will actually take up a huge portion of your capital gain in that case. Okay, but you get a plus here because you get rental for 3 years. So this is a plus. Okay, a bit of renovation. Any property you buy, you have to pay a bit of renovation for sure one. Okay, maintenance fee, if it's based on $400, based on 3 years, it's about 14,400. Property tax, okay, also 18,000. So net, right, if you were to go for a resale to rent out, if you rent out 3,500, you will still make about 73,000. Okay, that's for 3 years. But if you maybe were to swap into a new launch, okay, 6%, okay, 288,000, you minus your interest, you minus your renovation, okay, you still get about 242. Okay, so you can see the difference in terms of the profit, in terms of the gain, is almost about 3 times difference. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think today I feel that, right, important thing, you must understand this concept first. This is a very important concept. Yeah. Then after that, once we understand this, once we are more certain of how we are going to invest in our property, whether it's resale, whether it's new launch, then we will talk about the product. But I think today, right, if you look at product, right, I'm a very, I've been in this industry for 13 years already, so I'm very particular about the project. I always do a very detailed study of the project in this area. So I think today, why is it that I share with you Hugh Hewitt is because it takes most of the check boxes here. It has almost everything in this area. Okay, so for Hugh Hewitt, right now, okay, I think this one need no introduction. You can read for yourself. It's near to MRT. There's a school. There is also a huge pool of HDB upgraders. Okay, so is it a safe buy or not? Okay, so if you look at comparing OCR prices, right now even for Jurong, no, I'm staying in Jurong, no MRT, no school, also about 2003 already, 2005 already. Lentor, very far away also 24 to 25 already. If you look at places like even like Reserve Residence, which is just 2 stops away, just 2 stops away from you, right, it's really 2008 already. So my strategy for you, right, today, right, is very simple. Today, based on 1.6 million, okay, the capital that you need, right, is probably about 480. So use this 480k, right, to grow as much as you can. Enter, this is really the cheapest OCR price today. Yeah, if you look at the whole market today, okay, enter at 2002, exit at 2006, and this is not even the price of reserve right now. Yeah, very comfortable. Today, if you look at all the new launches, right, like ETA, this one is at Clementi, the Alta, that one already will be, they will trade at about 2,600 per square feet. Today, if you look at places like Chuan Park, okay, OCR, they already hit about 2,600 per square feet or even higher than that. So I can say that 3 years, no problem. You can hit at 2,600. So if you work backwards, right, in 3 years, right, okay, 263. Okay. So what I want to share with you is this: use this 480 carefully and grow by this. So today, if you look at your return of equity, right, ROE, right, you can see, right, 263,000 using 480 to earn, right? You probably make almost about 50%, which is I feel that is very healthy. I think today if you look at different kind of investment in Singapore, whether is it T-bills or whether is it putting into fixed bonds or buying insurance product, nothing can give you 50%. Yeah. So that's all for my today. That's all for what I want to share with you. Jen, please take care, stay safe, and yep, let's do a Zoom if the need arises. Thank you so much.